Hello everybody, welcome to the True Life News Show today, guys. This is amazing news, guys. When we get bombshell news that puts America first, guys, this is everything that we want from our president. Listen to this. We are about to see Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid get a boost. Not only because Trump is doing what he's doing with the economy and with all the big, beautiful bill, but listen to this. Whistleblower comes forward. And the whistleblower says that every single person within the Biden administration was incentivized to try and bring as many illegals into the system for taxpayer benefits, to qualify illegals for Social Security. Guys, they said if we can do this now, they will be set for life. Democrats for life, pushing for all. And this all makes sense, guys. This is huge. 3.9 million Social Security numbers that were given to illegals. New whistleblower has come forward to reveal this all, guys. This is the bombshell news we've been waiting for, and it gets even better, guys, because more and more every single day we are seeing breaking news over the fraud, the corruption that has been there. More people are getting more courageous to go out and speak the truth, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, because the next part, guys, I'm telling you, there's rhinos, there's corrupt people in the Republican Party. We are exposing them. Guess who's been taking money from dark money George Soros? Our Republican Senator Lindsey Graham. New evidence has revealed that documents of receiving money from one of the most left-wing, anti-American individuals that ever lived, George Soros, has been giving to the Lindsey Graham campaign. Is this guy a traitor? Is this guy a rhino? Guys, I'm telling you, these people that always try to say they're MAGA, try to say they're Republican, yet they're taking money from the other side, and we now have complete evidence, guys. We need to primary their butts. On top of that, guys, the Congress is finally, again, pushing for the accountability. President Trump, the Doge team, Elon Musk are working through individuals like Anna Paulina Luna, who is leading the charge right now, uncovering the dark money ties. And guess who's finally coming to testify before Congress over the LA riots? Who funded them? They found the ties. Doge has found the ties, guys. This is amazing. George Soros has been called to testify before Congress. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, guys. We are gonna hold everybody accountable. This is the first time he will be testifying in front of Congress for funding chaos, riots, protests in America. The BLM riots, guys, everything that we've been seeing over the past decade, all has been funded by dark money, and we got the evidence to show you. You know why, guys? We bring the receipts, because guess what? Even with the No Kings protest that's happening during our beautiful, glorious anniversary for the 250th birthday of the military, the No Kings parade, all this anti-American stuff, guess what? That's being funded by dark money. We have just found out that official partners that have been working with dark money, left-wing networks, have bagged $115 million to help fund the No Kings protests. Like, guys, listen to this. This is insane. We are seeing so much evidence now. We've never seen this before. So much exposure of corruption, anti-American acts, guys. And it gets even better because, again, when we think about the people who need our help the most, our tax dollars the most, it's supposed to be our citizens. So when a whistleblower says, I couldn't believe that we are giving these people, illegals, Social Security cards, U.S. passports, free medical, free housing, free food, free everything, you know the corruption is there, and Trump is here to stop it. And guys, this is how crazy it is. When the United States House of Representatives has to pass a bill, which they just passed, a bill banning DC from enacting policies to protect illegal aliens from ICE enforcement, you know we need to have some overhaul, some reform, big time, guys. We got some big breaking news for you today, and this is amazing because we are finally exposing all this corruption. I want to say thank you to everybody who is watching, to all of our subscribers and viewers. Thank you so much for your support. We truly appreciate you, and we're truly grateful for your support. And if you're not subscribed, please consider hitting that subscribe button, joining our family here at True Life News. We want you here, guys. We want to take care of you every day with the breaking news. We got some bombshell stuff today, guys, and it is beautiful. I want to thank all of our members of the channel. Thank you so much for your continued support, and everybody that gives a super chat donation. I want to give some love to Elaine Demeen, Debbie Davis, Ernestine Corey. Guys, y'all show them some love in the chat. Remember, we're just a couple of days away from our online giving on the 22nd of every single month. This guy right here is giving to a local charity with your support when you give a super chat or you're a member, and we are changing lives. It's beautiful. If you don't mind doing us a huge favor of hitting that thumbs up like button, thank you so much for your support, guys. We got some big news today. Not only are we going to see a Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid boost from cutting out the 3.9 million illegals that got the Social Security and all this stuff. Now that we know this from the whistleblower, we also are bringing George Soros to Congress to testify. We're also have found evidence of more rhinos like Lindsey Graham who received funding from George Soros in his campaigns. Guys, this is breaking news, guys. Listen to this.
That my team found that will absolutely shock you. Ever since the election, Democrats have been trying to scare people into believing that Donald Trump and Elon Musk were coming for your Social Security, that they were coming for your Medicare, your Medicaid. They aren't. None of it was ever true, and now we have the proof. According to the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, Elon Musk's team has just discovered that immigration officials under Joe Biden were doing something that's never been done before. They were giving illegal aliens work authorization papers just 5 months after they filed for asylum. The Biden Immigration Department would then mail each illegal alien a Social Security number, no questions asked, no interview, no background check, and presto, you've got yourself a brand new Democratic voter. That's how they were doing it.
They were buying
no
them,
administration
guys.
has ever done anything like it before, but clearly Democrats had a plan all along, a plan that the media deliberately never talked about, a plan that was considered the third rail, off limits to even mention in polite company. They were importing voters. We have an answer to that question now. And while they were doing that, they were telling you this.
Well, there certainly is not an open border.
The border is secure, but we also have a broken immigration system.
The border is closed. The border is secure.
I just laid that really clear. It would be wrong to think that the border is open. It is not open.
They were importing Democratic voters, lying to the American public, and now we have the proof.
Guys, this is so big, guys. I just got to show you this because right here, when you see this, 3,920,028 illegals were given Social Security and Medicaid in 4 years, guys. This is astronomically a waste of taxpayer money. We got people trying to live on Social Security $800, $900 a month. And when we find out all this stuff, guys, it is complete fraud. This guy needs to be held in contempt because they literally stole from the American taxpayer to give to an illegal to make them a citizen. Let me know your thoughts in the comments.
The Social Security Administration, the crime started immediately after Joe Biden took office in 2021. 270,000 illegals were given Social Security numbers. That's about the population of Hartford, Connecticut. That number would grow a year later to 590,000 illegals getting Social Security numbers, about the size of Cincinnati, Ohio. A year later, 2023, 964,000 illegals got Social Security numbers, about the size of San Francisco. And in Joe Biden's final year in office, on his way out the door, that number skyrocketed to just over 2 million illegal aliens getting Social Security numbers, roughly the size of our third biggest city, Chicago. In all.
Guys, again, like in my heart right now, all I'm thinking about is thank you, Trump. Thank you, Doge. If you appreciate this, if you don't mind hitting that thumbs up like button, we would not have known any of this, guys, if it wasn't for the Trump administration doing what they were doing, fighting against the corruption and exposing all this. And guys, it gets even worse. But this is the thing. It's worse because of what's happened, but it's good because we're finally exposing it.
More than 3 million illegal aliens that crossed the border when Joe Biden was president now have Social Security numbers today that we know about, and it gets worse. According to Doge, 1.3 million illegal aliens are currently on Medicaid, and at least 500,000 now have a driver's license, and they are killing Americans behind the wheel. Over the last 4 years on U.S. roads, dozens of deaths that didn't need to happen. And some of these illegal aliens actually voted.
Guys, let me tell you this.
This is how the media is going to spin this, by the way. They're going to...
The amount of people that are being exposed right now with all the fakeness. Look at this right here. It's been revealed that Senator Lindsey Graham accepted money from George Soros. As many times as the Americans have been ripped off, look at this right here. Soros Fund Management. Open Secrets, Lindsey Graham, 2016, and then they don't have a date on the other one. When we know that there's people that are this is starting to come out, guys. Every single day, we're seeing more and more times that dark money is fueling what is going on right now, and it gets even worse right here. Look at this. Bombshell far-left Arabella network of rich elites have showered the No Kings protest partners and affiliates with at least $114.8 million from Breitbart News, guys. We are bringing the receipts. We're showing you the Democrats have sided with the illegals to try to win them as voters because they couldn't win any other way. And now we're exposing hundreds of millions of dollars to protest against America, all funded by these dark-wing, left-wing Democrats. Guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Surgical Wizard, thank you so much for the super chat. Let's go. He said a federal judge ruled against Newsom to ban military and ICE in LA and in California. I love it. Justice is coming, and thank you so much. Tijuana Border Jumper said, I'm here for support. I love it, guys. MAGA, baby. Y'all show Tijuana Border Jumper and Surgical Wizard some love in the chat, guys, because what is happening with the Democrats? They're trying to distract. They're trying to deter the news from us exposing the corruption of what they're doing, just like this.
turn this into the greatest tragedy you've ever seen. LA Times, first they came for the immigrants, then they took down our Latino senator. This is how fake it is. We are living in the twilight zone. Democrats, of course, exploded, getting together to march for Padilla at the Capitol. Quote, we're marching to Senator Toons' office. There must be accountability for the detainment of a U.S. senator. This is not normal. That's from Congressman Maxwell Frost, a guy who couldn't even get an apartment in Washington because his credit was so bad. So these are the kinds of people and the quality of people that are going to stir this up. And of course, the media is going to play along perfectly. You're going to be hearing about this forever. Maxwell Frost couldn't wait to jump on the bandwagon for this publicity stunt, demanding accountability for the detainment of a senator. That's what he said. Just one problem. Even Padilla says he wasn't detained.
I was forced to the ground, and I was handcuffed. I was not arrested. I was not detained.
Yeah.
Guys, these people are so bad that they're going out and they're on Congress floor and trying to defend this and saying he was detained and arrested this. And then the same guy literally says the opposite. Guys, please tell me, are you not enjoying that we are exposing this craziness, guys, of what's going on? But what I love is it's more common sense is winning.
Not detained. Probably trying to avoid slandering the Department of Homeland Security with a blatant lie and the consequences that could come from that. He had to be a little bit careful there. This is so stupid. Listen to this.
If this is how the Department of Homeland Security responds to a senator with a question, you can only imagine what they're doing to farm workers, to cooks, to day laborers out in the Los Angeles community and throughout California and throughout the country.
He cried the whole time. He put together a planned stunt and then cried.
It was planned.
Again, the line, one of my favorite lines. Washington is Hollywood for ugly people. Politics is Hollywood for ugly people. It's so true. They're all just terrible actors. That's not how they treat a senator, he says. No, it's not. That is how they treat a lunatic in street clothes barging into a room during a televised news conference on national TV and hurling himself toward one of the most important people in the country. Again, no suit. He doesn't have a name tag that says Alex Padilla. He's only been in the Senate for 4 years. He's not very well known. He's a very mediocre person, a very mediocre senator. Would you recognize, I mean, how many there's 500 or so congressmen and senators? You know how they all look? Does anybody? Do the people that guard Nome have any idea? No, they don't know. He was just saying that. He could be a guy there to kill her. Exactly. The stunts by this party are so embarrassing that it hurts. And the fake outrage over this planned event is even more painful.
A United States senator was manhandled, shoved to the ground, and cuffed. This is the stuff of dictatorship.
If you think it stops with one, you are inviting it for the all, because it does not. You are inviting it for every member of this body.
Donald Trump is making this nation look more and more like a fascist state.
I just saw something that sickened my stomach. The manhandling of a United States senator. We need immediate answers.
He literally walked in. Sorry, guys, it's so funny. He literally walked in with no name tag, no identification. They asked him, "What are you doing?" And he kept yelling. And guys, let me tell you this. If the Democrats aren't the biggest drama queens in the entire world over something that was so bad, and good, look at this, guys. I have to show you this because 194 Democrats voted so that they could enact policies to protect illegal aliens from ICE enforcement. Now, thankfully, we have more Republicans that voted against it, but this got brought up in the House, guys, this week. Why? Why is it that we're not seeing things that should be brought up, like the SAVE Act, like codifying the Doge Acts, but we got to bring up in the House a bill to ban DC from enacting policies to protect illegal aliens from ICE enforcement? That's what all they're trying to do. They're all trying to protect their voter base. This is such a joke. You don't see them fighting this hard to protect Americans, but dang it, they'll step over an American to go reach out for an illegal in a heartbeat, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments.
To what the hell went on?
It's so stupid. I don't know how many times I can say that to you. It's the most visceral feeling. It's pouring out of me. This is all that they have, this behavior. They're desperate to stop something Americans voted for. They're desperate to stop something they know shouldn't be stopped. They're fighting for something deeply unpopular right now, and that is wide open borders in a wealthy first world country, something that they know will decimate the nation they're fighting for. It will destroy the nation, and it will do it quickly. And that's what they're fighting for. The only way that they can fight this fight is with smoke and mirrors. They have to paint basic fundamental border and law enforcement as fascism. That's all they can do. And
guys, and you want to talk about one of the most anti-American people that's finally, guys, mark your calendars. We're going to be streaming it. Finally going to testify before Congress over allegations of financing the violence at anti-ICE protests in Los Angeles, as well as I'm seeing in other sources going back to the BLM riots. Finally, guys, George Soros is going to be coming before Congress to testify. We want to see people held in contempt. I want to see every single person that has funded protests, funded chaos in America to try and bring down or hurt our American citizens with illegals. They need to be put in jail. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you appreciate this, guys, if you don't mind hitting that thumbs up like button, because again, too, the pit bulls are coming out. We have Anna Paulina Luna, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Jim Jordan, Byron Donalds. These people are coming out and fighting against the corruption, and I love it, guys. The show today is so good. I am loving this because we're getting to tell you things that we never thought in our wildest dreams that would happen, but it's only happening because Trump is president, guys. Listen to this.
Package, really, I guess the rescissions package of $9.3 billion, including money for PBS and NPR, which you had the hearings on, just passed. You want to walk us through that?
Yes, very excited. I chair the DOJ subcommittee on oversight, and we held some very powerful hearings this year, 2 of which were on USAID and defunding NPR and PBS. Well, we finally made some headway, even though it was really hard. I cannot believe Republicans that vote no to this stuff, but we finally passed the DOJ rescissions cut, the first one that cuts over $9 billion. And I really think that's a drop in the bucket, Steve. I think the American people deserve a lot more.
Yes.
But I think they should pay close attention to any Republicans that don't want to make these DOJ rescission cut votes.
It was stunning, and we'll deal with that maybe next week or two. One question I get from the audience all the time: you had a master class in the subcommittee that you chair, the committee you chair, in grilling witnesses. Can you please confirm that those horrible people from NPR and PBS are not going to be, with the cut of this $1 billion in each, that they will no longer be employed as federal employees, ma'am?
Yes, the details of it is, unfortunately, 2025 was already funded. They will be defunded in 26 and 27 with a spending cut for this fiscal year. Steve, I think we should defund them permanently, as well as USAID, very dangerous program. I don't like the idea that it can be left open and taken into the State Department. We've already seen.
Whoa, guys, sorry, I got some bombshell news that literally just came out 1 minute ago. We're gonna show you this in a moment. But the President Donald Trump's administration has told immigration officials to largely pause raids and arrests in the agricultural industry, hotels, and restaurants. Guys, holy smokes. I'm going to dig more into this as it's coming out, guys, while you're enjoying this, guys. Thank you so much, Leigh Lewis, for gifting 5 True Life News memberships. Let's go. Growing the True Life News family. If you got a free membership from Leigh, show her some love in the chat. But, guys, this is huge. The Trump administration telling the immigration officials to pause raids at agriculture industries, hotels, and restaurants. We'll show you this more in a moment.
What a Democrat State Department can do, but we have to keep pushing. And for people watching at home, I have to tell you, we had 4 Republicans vote no to this. We had 6, and 2 of them pulled back their votes in order for this to pass. But no Republicans should be voting no. And so I want you to know it's an incredible fight up here. But I tell you what. There's a good reason to put out and for people to see how Republicans vote, because it gives people a reason to pay attention to primary season, and that's coming.
2026, baby,
I remember
midterms.
I tell people all the time, and back in the summer of 23, you were up at 2 and 3 in the morning fighting for these cuts back then and being overridden by Republicans, not even Democrats. The Republicans wouldn't even bring this out of conference. You've been at the lead of this artificial intelligence. Today, there's a report that Altman, the head of ChatGPT, which, by the way, I think it has something like 7 billion downloads or 7 billion hits, is actually said this is a report that he's talking to people. He thinks artificial general intelligence may already be here. Can you get people up to date of your battle on the big beautiful bill to insert federalism in here and about the states being able to step up and do something about artificial intelligence?
Yes, thank you for asking me that. So Sam Altman came out today and said that he thinks that AI may have surpassed human intelligence, that we've already crossed over into an area where AI can get ahead of us. And I find that terrifying. Here's what shocked me is I could not believe under a Republican-controlled House that we had a small provision inserted in President Trump's one big beautiful bill that was only supposed to be about taxes, energy, and border security. And they put one clause in there that literally destroyed federalism for 10 years and told states they cannot regulate or make laws on AI for 10 years, Steve. And let me tell you the dirty little secret. Republicans in Congress up here, they have no plan on the federal level. There is no legislation that's been introduced. There is no legislation that they've talked to us about on how to regulate and make laws on the federal level. But they want to go ahead and preemptively tie states' hands And we have Sam Altman coming out and saying that AI is already smarter than people. And we haven't even added into what will happen when AI is controlling robots and AI can
Cars
control
and
all
everything.
kinds of things. And
guys, again, the worst part of what she just said, I know that there's gonna be a fight with AI and jobs and things like that in the future. Trust me, I'm in on all of it. But what makes me so upset is that she literally just said this was supposed to be about taxes, tax cuts, rescissions, things like that, and somebody snuck it in. I want to know who the heck snuck this in to this bill that Mike Johnson oversees, that nobody found out about it until after it was passed. Guys, this is the dang corruption. We as Republicans, as MAGA people, the Republicans continue to do this time and time again. Guys, I hate it. There's always somebody sneaking some stupid part into a bill that's trying to control more of Americans' lives or not allowing us to do and have our free will. Let me know your thoughts in the comments.
there's no future that I want to see America living in, and my children especially, and future generations, where AI can replace humans, replace their jobs, because we're looking at a possibility of poverty we can't even comprehend. We've never seen in the history of America. We're looking at the highest unemployment that could be possible because AI can replace so many sectors of jobs, especially when you add in what robots and robotics can do. And I think this is just outrageous and irresponsible that Republicans can do this. And I never saw President Trump campaign on that. Not one time did I see that man stand on a rally stage and say to the American people that he wants to tie states' hands for 10 years to make laws and regulations on the future of AI. And but that got put in there. That was on the Energy and Commerce Committee that Brett Guthrie is the chair of, and Jay Obernolte of California, who has spent the past almost 2 years now chairing and investigating, and wrote a big report on AI. That was the provision that was put in along with the AI lobby. And now they're trying to fight to keep it. And Steve, I know this is long, I'll finish up real quick. It's in the Senate right now. The One Big Beautiful Bill is in the Senate. And I can talk about this as much as I want because it's going to come back to the House for another vote. So we get another bite at the apple. And in the Senate, the parliamentarian needs to take it out. Yes. Because under reconciliation, the rules are the bill cannot create policy. And that is absolutely creating a policy that states can't do anything for 10 years. So the parliamentarian really needs to take that out. And then the second warning I have is Ted Cruz introduced an amendment, and I don't know where it is right now. He introduced an amendment that would change this one provision a little bit and tie it to broadband money. It's under BEADS, which is a program where states can get money for broadband because many rural red states don't have broadband.
So again, if they follow the rules of what this federal law is, they can get free money. Isn't this all so just like fraud, corruption, guys? Isn't it so insane that we continuously find this out even right now with the majority GOP that we have, with the people that are supposedly MAGA right now, guys? And it gets even worse with what I'm going to show you because, again, too, we have to expose the rhinos and we have to vote them out. What's new? Thank you so much for the super chat. Let's go. Say thank you, MTG, for continuing to fight the good fight. I love you. Y'all show what's new some love in the chat, guys. And if you appreciate this, if you don't mind hitting that thumbs up like button, thank you so much for your support.
And so it's really dangerous. And if they take the money from the BEADS account, then they self-impose the moratorium for 10 years. They self-impose. They give up the ability to make regulations or laws for 10 years. And that's the amendment that Ted Cruz is putting in. I really don't want to see that amendment pass. I want to see the Senate parliamentarian take it out, and I want to see Republicans do this publicly and do it the right way for the American people to see, instead of a provision that got snuck in the bill, and we only had less than 24 hours to read over 1,000 pages. So long description, but it's a serious issue. And
again, guys, this is the Mike Johnson leadership that we have. They write the entire bill, they put in provisions, and then they give the Congress 24 hours to read over 1,100 pages, and then they expect them to vote on it. When do they get time to make revisions? It's the leader. There's like literally Congress is so stupid the way that I see it. You have the leader of the House, who is Mike Johnson, and then there's the leader of the subcommittees under him, and then under those people is the regular Congress. So Mike Johnson negotiates with the leaders of the committees in the House. They basically build the entire bill, and then they finally bring it within 24 hours of the vote to the people at the very bottom, and then the people at the bottom who are not heads of these committees then have to vote on it. And then, guys, this is so wrong, and this is why we need to overhaul in Congress, and I hope you appreciate it. I want to bring the full context of what we're actually dealing with. But also, too, I want to show you this because I wanted you to see the faces of the USAID officials, the 3 executives who pleaded guilty in the bribery scheme with over $500 million in contracts. That they were stealing from the taxpayers using the USAID slush funds to get rich, get more houses, nice lavish vacations, nice cars. I mean, guys, you name it. Getting courtside seats at NBA games. This, to me, is like why USAID has to be officially shut down, because if there's one, you know that there's more. And the bad problem is that if right now, cutting out USAID is not codified yet. It's still going to be there. Right now, Doge has stopped it, but if Trump loses, but if we don't win in 2028, USAID is still there and the money will still be there to be allocated. We have to codify the Doge cuts. But I want to show you this too, guys, because again, too, if MTG I think, should be Speaker of the House because she's not afraid to fight back against these corrupt governors, you're going to enjoy this one right here. Check this out.
Without objection?
Proudly.
All right. Chair recognizes Ms. Green.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Governor Hochul, you stated that you're a proud registered Democrat.
Yes, I did. Is that illegal now, too, in your country?
Ooh! Governor Hochul, this is not a laughing matter. You also stated that you swore an oath to uphold the laws of New York. And one of the laws that you have upheld and proudly kept in place is the executive order signed by former Governor Andrew Cuomo that directs that no state officers or employees, including law enforcement officers, shall disclose information to federal immigration authorities for the purpose of federal civil immigration enforcement unless required by law. And because of your state's policies of paying for flights of illegal aliens, we ended up with Jose Ibarra in our state of Georgia. And, you know, I'm a mother of 3 children, and 2 out of my 3, I have 2 daughters. And you're a mother, is that correct?
Yes, it is.
Yes, and I think you've got 2 children, you have 1 daughter, is that right?
That is correct.
And so you and I are both mothers, and there's one mother that I wish could be here today and could talk to you instead of me, and that's Allison Phillips. That's Laken Riley's mother. And we talked about Laken a few minutes ago, and you know, there's a really special bond between mothers and daughters, and we speak with our daughters daily. We speak with our daughters all day long. We speak with our daughters about every single thing that's happening in our lives and every single thing that's happening in their lives. And I want you to know the last time that Laken Riley and her mother, Allison Phillips, tried to talk to each other, and that happened to be in the morning when Laken was getting ready to go out and go for her morning jog. And on the morning of her murder, at 8:55 a.m., Riley texted her mother and said, "Good morning, about to go for a run, if you're free to talk." And I can tell you that's something I do with my girls, and they text me, and I'm sure you and your daughter text each other as well. But she didn't get her mother, and then Riley called her mother just a few minutes later at 9:03 a.m. as she was starting to listen to music, but she didn't get her mom on the phone. And the trail cam actually captured her going out for her run at 9:05 a.m. At 9:11, Lakin called 911. This was just not but a few minutes after she had tried to call her mother. And then at 9:24, Lakin received a call from her mother, but it went unanswered. And at 9:28, Lakin's heart stopped. And according to the smartwatch, the data of her smartwatch, Lakin fought for her life for 17 minutes. 17 minutes. 17 minutes, this little girl fought for her life as she was being beat in the head by this monster, as she was being strangled by this monster, as she was being almost raped by this monster and drug off into the woods. She fought for her life for 17 minutes, and her mom tried to call during that time. And it was only a few minutes after she had tried to call her mother. And I think as mothers, not politicians, this is something that we should easily share with Allison Phillips.
Yes.
So when we are talking about the laws in place and the policies that we uphold as elected leaders in this country, do you know who we should be thinking about? We should be thinking about our daughters. And the fact that, look, everybody can fight all day long. Democrat, Republican. I gotta tell you though, it's so much bullshit when it comes down to the fact that this little girl fought for 17 minutes of the end of her 22-year-old life. The end of her 22-year-old life. And Governor Hochul, for the love of God, as you are a proud, registered Democrat, I don't know how on earth you can uphold laws that protect and give aid and comfort to monsters, especially one that was arrested in your state and let go because of your policies in your state.
Hammer in the nail.
I can't comprehend it, Mr. Chairman. Just one more second. Lakin Riley and her mother deserve to have one last chat. Like, you know what? Me and you get to have chats with our daughters. Mr. Chairman, I yield.
Guys, if that is not the most real speech that I love that we get from some of our actual congresspeople of lives that will never be the same because of what has happened. It's all the dark money. Breitbart News reporting out this morning that for this No King stupid protests that are going on around America, you know, if there was a king, they wouldn't even be allowed to protest. But this No King's protest is being funneled by people that have gotten, this is from Breitbart News, guys, by protests by partners and affiliates with at least $115 million. I'm rounding up, guys. $115 million in dark money. This is the corruption that is trying to destroy America. When you look at the puppet that we had as a president, Biden, who was controlled by dark money, controlled by these lobbyists, controlled by staffers, wasn't fully there, let in, this type of stuff happens. Illegal alien collected Social Security and Medicare benefits for 9 years. Hundreds of thousands of dollars of your hard-earned money going to somebody who's never paid into the system. Because let me tell you this, guys. We now know that there was 3.9 million Social Security numbers given out. There was probably almost 20 million that came into the country. You know, when you're an illegal, you kind of want to stay in illegal because if you then try to become a citizen, you have to go through the system, you could be deported, and all this stuff. But guess what? These illegals don't pay taxes. They just work under the table. They work for cash. And then they send that cash, a lot of it, back to like places like South America, Mexico, things like that. So whenever we hear these stories, it just blows my mind that we never get a dang true answer from these corrupt governors that need to be arrested over these stupid policies that they have enacted. Thank you so much. What's new for getting 10 True Life News memberships? Let's go. Y'all show what's new some love in the chat if you got a free membership. And guys, I love this. We're growing the family. What I have to show you next too is that there are people that are standing up and actually doing what they're supposed to do in the Senate, like our boy Tuberville. Listen to this.
Senator Tommy Tuberville, great Senator Tommy Tuberville. Senator, welcome back as always. I just want to try this thesis out on you. Mr. Trump acted.
Guys, if you appreciate this, if you don't mind hitting that thumbs up like button, thank you so much for your support.
So decisively to stop the riots in Los Angeles, to protect the work of ICE, to keep the deportations going, to make it very clear that criminals will be thrown into jail. If you spit on somebody, you're going to jail, et cetera, et cetera. As a big win. I mean, I think it was a big win, a big loss for Democrats. But here's my question, Sarah. I think that kind of action, which is so popular, it's like an 80-20 issue, plays into passage of the one big beautiful bill because people want promises made, promises kept.
Yes.
They want the Trump agenda, and they see that he is unhesitatingly defending the Trump agenda on which he was elected last November. What you think? I'm going from LA to one big beautiful bill.
Well, if you just think about this summer coming up, it's probably going to be the summer of hate instead of the summer of love, Larry. We got huge problems. 1,400 protests just this weekend. But at the end of the day, President Trump never hesitated with this. He goes in. This is a third world country run by a communist governor, and the guy should be in jail, and also the mayor. This is absolute disgrace. The American people, actually the citizens of California, should be treated a lot better than this. But at the end of the day, it is really going to help, I think, also, as you said, coming back to the big, beautiful bill. President Trump means business. If you look at this bill, about 3/4 of it is tax cuts for all Americans. Tax cuts. And that's what we need. We got to get that done. The other, there's some things in there that I don't agree with all of it, a little bit too much spending, but the one thing we have to get done is the tax cuts, and all those other things will work itself out as we go through this bill and another reconciliation down the road. But yeah, President Trump means business. He knows what he's doing. He's got huge backing from really smart people like Bessett and Ludnick, and all the people that are working all the trade and tariff deals. I'm fired up about the big, beautiful bill being passed here in the very near future.
I mean, you've probably seen some of these numbers from the White House Legislative Affairs, but 15% tax cut to working families, 82%. Child tax credit higher, 81%. Ending taxes on tips, 77 to 18. Cutting taxes on overtime, 74 to 18. I mean, these are like 75, 80, 20 issues. You know what they're like, Senator? They're like law and order. Punishing criminals or deporting murderers and sex traffickers. They're 80-20 issues too. And I'm just saying, to me, it all kind of comes together. I know LA seems a long way from one big beautiful bill, but in the public's mind, the guy they hired to be president is doing what folks want. And I think there's momentum. That's why I want to get the one big beautiful bill done as soon as possible, sir.
Guys, exactly. and I want to show you this. I don't know if you've heard this yet, guys, but this is, again, breaking news today. There was a Minnesota State Representative, Melissa Hortman, that was killed by an assassin now. This person was in the car that of this person that took out this state representative, had all these flyers for No Kings. They also were in a professional policeman's uniform. They were in a police car. They're now saying it was a professional hit to take out this representative. Guys, that's how bad things are getting. And what I'm seeing also else is that this representative voted against a bill that was that had to do with going against the Democrats. Like, this is like, it's getting crazy, guys, that there is people that are losing their lives because of the crazy left-wing agenda of this right here. Like, you cannot tell me it's not coincidental that they have the No Kings protest flyers. They were professionally set up. This person just happened to have voted the bill, but the day before had threats put against her, and now she's lost her life. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, guys, because again, too, if we don't get accountability from the people that are funding this crazy dark money left-wing agenda, guys, it's going to get worse.
take our country back like he's doing in California, take our economy back like he's going to do with this bill. This bill is going to help a lot of people, Larry, and it's going to build growth. You know, last week, I talked to a group in Alabama that President Trump saved 300 jobs at this manufacturing textile mill because of what he did with tariffs. That's going to happen. Biden, Obama, Clinton, they all sold our manufacturing out. Anywhere you drive in this country, you're going to see manufacturing plants that are just old, dilapidated. Nobody's working there. Small towns gone to heck in a handbasket. But at the end of the day, President Trump means business. He's going to get people to come back. He's going to tariff everybody that's against this country, especially China, and we're going to get manufacturing back and take care of ourselves instead of other people.
Well, full cost expensing is going to help that. But the bigger story is that tariff inflation is missing in action. And I think these exporting countries with their unfair trading practices, Senator, I think they're eating the tariff. That's what I think is happening because there's no inflation. It's only 1.4% for the past 4 months. That's remarkable. Every economist practically in the liberal media was completely wrong.
Well, the Democrats have been hollering, Chicken Little, the sky's falling, the sky's falling. And all we have to do is look at really what's going on, and everything is getting better. We might not have improved a lot, but we haven't tanked like the Democrats were expecting, because look at all the things we're having to go through, the tariffs, the wars, all these protests. They're doing everything they can to slow President Trump down. It's not working. He's not listening to the nonsense anymore. The media can do what they want to, but he's going to do exactly what he told the American people he's going to do. He's going to stick with it. He's got a game plan, and I'm looking forward to this game plan continuing on. When we get these tax cuts done, the country is going to take off in the right direction, and you don't have to worry about inflation. We're going to be on the way up.
Senator Tufnell, President Trump is hinting at putting in a new Fed chairman. I mean, this guy, Jay Powell, should have been cutting rates with the absence of inflation.
Yep.
How about you running the Federal Reserve System? A common sense guy like you, businessman, the farm community. We need somebody. I know you got your eye on Alabama governorship. I got the Federal Reserve checked off for you.
Well, the one thing I will tell you, and hit it on one of those ideas there, Larry, the interest rates are killing our farmers. We're going to lose our farmers if we don't get this interest rate down. It's costing them a fortune. They can't make a profit. And what happens when we lose our farmers like we did manufacturing? We're going to go south. And we can't allow that to happen. We got to protect our farmers. Yeah, let's drop the interest rates. Drop them now. They were way too high for way too long.
Senator Tommy Tucker.
Guys, let me know your thoughts on what you're about to see next, because this is huge, guys. Right here, ICE to largely pause raids on farms, hotels, and restaurants. This is from Newsmax, guys. This is real. President Donald Trump's administration has told immigration officials to largely pause raids and arrest in the agricultural industry, hotels, and restaurants. The New York Times reposted on Friday. The report cited an internal email and 3 U.S. officials with knowledge of the guidance. Wow, guys, this is huge. We're supposed to be ramping up these raids and stuff, because remember, if 10 million came into the country, we're only deporting 3,000, then that's only a million, almost a million, essentially per year over 4 years. That's 4 million, but 11 million came into the country. To get to what we need to be doing, we need to be doing 7,000 to 8,000 to really clean it up. Let me know your thoughts on this, on them actually kind of pausing doing this. Do they think it's affecting the economy? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I wanted to show you this, guys, because we're getting so much action from representatives in Congress who are being asked the hard questions over what the heck is going on with the Doge cuts, with codifying Trump's agenda. Listen to this.
Good afternoon, everybody. Under President Trump's leadership, your taxpayer dollars are no longer being wasted. Instead, we are fulfilling the promises we made to the American people. We're going to be better stewards of that here. And now we're directing all of this towards priorities that truly benefit the American people. This is a long time overdue. We just had an important vote here on the floor. Today's passage of this initial rescissions package marks a critical step towards a more responsible and transparent government that puts the interests of the American taxpayers first. We want to thank DOJ for their heroic and patriotic efforts. That work led to this. This package eliminates $9.4 billion in unnecessary and wasteful spending at the State Department, USAID, and the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, which funds politically biased media outlets like NPR and PBS. It's just one of the ways that Republicans are codifying DOJ's findings and putting taxpayer dollars to better use. There'll be more of this in the days ahead. We had hoped our Democrat colleagues would join us in this effort. It's an important one. All we're trying to do is ensure that every dollar spent by the federal government is used efficiently and effectively. But rather than expressing concern over the misuse and misspending of funds, our Democrat colleagues have another idea. They have instead chosen to oppose these reforms simply because Republicans are leading the charge. While they defend the failed toxic status quo, Republicans will continue to deliver real accountability and restore fiscal discipline. As has been said many times with this administration, President Trump's leadership, and here with Republicans in the House and the Senate, it's about promises made and promises kept, and we'll continue doing that.
Federal agents go too far to the way they treated Senator Padilla today. Was that a bridge too far?
I saw the same video, a very brief video that I think many people did. I think the senator's actions, my view is it was wildly inappropriate. You don't charge a sitting cabinet secretary, and everybody can draw their own conclusions. You can see it's a debate.
Is people hectating here just to speak?
I'm not going to respond to that. Look, let me just, hold on, wait just a second. I think the American people can draw their own conclusions. They saw a senator acting like wildly inappropriate. I'll leave it at that.
So what about the way he was treated?
What I saw was agents asking him to quieten down so that the secretary could continue her press conference. He refused to do so. What were they supposed to do? They have to restrain someone who is engaging in that kind of behavior. They moved him out of the room.
Put him to the ground, handcuff him.
A sitting member of Congress should not act like that. It is beneath a member of Congress. It is beneath a U.S. senator. They're supposed to lead by example, and that is not a good example. We have to turn the temperature down in this country and not escalate it. The Democrat Party is on the wrong side. They are defending lawbreakers, and now they are acting like lawbreakers themselves. And I think
oversight.
That's oversight. Charging a cabinet secretary in a press conference, I beg to differ. I think that people do as well. I think those actions speak for themselves.
What would you say about lowering the temperature in the country right now? What would you?
I have things to say about lowering the temperature all the time. I am very consistent in this. We have been trying to do this since I was handed the gavel and before. I founded the Honor and Civility Caucus in the Congress, for crying out loud, when I got here in 2017. I think that we should act according to our offices. We have a duty and a responsibility to set a tone, an example in our actions. And I encourage every member of this body to do it in the House and Senate. We have to turn the temperature down. We need to be on the side of the rule of law. We need to be on the side of law and order. We need to be on the side of calm and not chaos. And when members go into these settings and act this way, that when they push law enforcement agents around, when they storm cabinet secretaries in a press conference, I think it is wildly inappropriate behavior, and I think it sets a terrible message and tone for the rest of the country.
Will there be an investigation? Will there be a House investigation?
This is a Senate side issue, but I certainly hope that behavior is not repeated over here. We already
constitutional officer that is granted. This affects all members, whether they be in the House or Senate. You're the Speaker of the House. As a constitutional officer of this branch.
Yeah, and what of it? I mean,
the idea that you said this is a Senate issue. This isn't. I mean, these are members of Congress.
Yeah, but the Senate does its disciplinary actions over there, and we do ours over here. We have a certain set of measures, as you all know, and it ranges from censure to removal from committees to ultimately expulsion from the body.
And do you support that for the senator?
It's not my decision to make. I'm not in that chamber, but I do think that it merits immediate attention by their colleagues over there, and that they need. I think that behavior at a minimum is. It rises to the level of a censure. I think there needs to be a message sent by the body as a whole that is not what we are going to do. That's not how we're going to act. We're not going to have branches fighting physically and having senators charging cabinet secretaries. We got to do better, and I hope that we will. But I want to say this is a good day for the House chamber. The first rescissions package is now passed through the House. I expect it will pass through the Senate. I expect our one big beautiful bill will continue to be processed as it is, and that we'll get it back and get it done on a tight schedule. I'm still trying to meet our July 4th deadline so we can have the celebration on Independence Day. And having good legislation passed will put everybody in a better mood. So I'm looking forward to that. Thanks.
Guys, I'm telling you, if we're not seeing They're calling them out, guys. Even right here with what we're seeing, we're finally gonna see this person finally step into Congress to testify over allegations of financing violence at anti-ICE protests in Los Angeles. This is being led by Representative Ana Paulina Luna. We finally are getting some traction with investigations. There's more stuff that's happening. I'm waiting a little bit to make sure that it's concrete of what I'm seeing, but I love this, guys. I want to say thank you so much, Queen Bee's Art Hive, for the support of being a member of the family. Lisa Anderson and Dash Hound Lover, welcome to the family. And thank you so much, He's Faithful. Guys, y'all show He's Faithful some love in the chat. Again, the big news, we are finally exposing so many of these dang corrupt people, guys. I'm telling you, when you see this right here, how in the world is Lindsey Graham able to be okay with, they accepted donations, and these are not little $5, $10, $20 donations. These are thousands upon thousands of dollars of donations from the George Soros fund. One of the most anti-American people that has ever lived, guys, is that guy. And now we know Lindsey Graham has accepted money from that. I mean, this is just, it's more stuff is coming out every day that we need to clean house. Listen to this.
Today, you'll hear from Governors Pritzker, Walsh, and Hochul. Are you going to put sanctuary status on trial today?
Of course. I mean, this is the most ridiculous policy you can imagine. And understand what this is in essence. It says that local law enforcement in sanctuary jurisdictions will not work with federal law enforcement officials when they're enforcing federal law. That is just stupid. But that is the policy that these left-wing jurisdictions have, whether it's a city or in today's situation, whether it's 3 states like Illinois, Minnesota, and New York. So yeah, we're going to put this thing on trial because it's the dumbest policy. It's just one more crazy policy that the left has embraced that the country says this makes no sense whatsoever. Of course, we're going to talk about that.
But does the...
Guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments, because again, too, just the sanctuary status for these states, to me, is like breaking a federal crime. How could the states not enforce federal laws on securing the country or having citizens that are actually citizens, but they allow illegals to be in their cities without recourse, without any charges, without anything? Let me know your thoughts in the comments.
Congress have the power to say, you no longer have sanctuary status. It's abolished for your state. You can't say that, can you?
Well, but we can say the money you get, if you're a sanctuary policy, you're going to get less money. Right back to the subject that Chad was just talking about, how federal dollars are spent. And by the way, the fact that we haven't done a rescission package in 3 decades sort of proves the point. Maybe it's time we start doing this, particularly when it's a $37 trillion national debt. And the Democrats are saying what we should do with the $37 trillion national debt is make sure we keep sending money to Baghdad to put Bert and Ernie on TV. That is stupid as well. So, of course, we're going to talk about all that in today's hearing.
Let's talk about the Los Angeles riots. You say that Democrats are letting people burn and loot because they want to put the blame on Trump. Is that how you see it?
Well, I say this, the left always takes the wrong position. The left always gets things backwards. The left is out there saying, oh, somehow this is President Trump's fault because he's supporting police, he's bringing in the National Guard to stop the rioters, and somehow it's his fault? That just, again, doesn't make any sense to me. The people who are firebombing cars, the people who are throwing rocks at police officers, throwing things off of overpasses, disrupting those communities, disrupting families' lives, small business owners' lives in those communities, they're the problem, not the people who are trying to stop that kind of stuff from taking place. But the left, again, always takes the wrong position.
Is President Trump winning the public relations battle in the riots in Los Angeles? Is the rest of the country with Trump? Because I understand that some Californians are with Newsom.
No, I think the vast majority of the country is with President Trump when it comes to this. I mean, we want law and order. We're defending the police officers. They're the party of defunding the police. They're the party that embraced the radicals. They're the party who has the left-wing press in front of the camera saying this is a mostly peaceful protest when, of course, there's a building on fire behind him. So the left, again, always gets it wrong, whether it's sanctuary policies, whether it's riots in the street, or whether it's, not having taxpayer dollars being used to fund Bert and Ernie in Baghdad television.
Baghdad television.
Guys, I'm telling you, it is nuts. It is so nuts what is popping up right now. When all the people in North Carolina were hurt because of the Hurricane Helene, you didn't see these people marching and protesting to make sure that their fellow Americans were taken care of, but yet they're doing that at ICE facilities now, and it's just showing. I'm not going to show it because it's too much violence, but they are seeing that Trump's not playing around. ICE is not playing around anymore. You want to protest? You'll be put in handcuffs if you're impeding what ICE and them are trying to do. Want to say, if you appreciate this, guys, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, thank you so much for your support. Want to say thank you to all of our viewers, all of our subscribers. Guys, we are so thankful and grateful that you are here supporting us, watching the news, guys, with us, telling people about us. I'm so thankful that we get to serve you every day with the top news. And if you're not subscribed, please consider clicking that subscribe button, joining our family here at True Life News. We want to serve you every day. There's so much breaking news. We show you guys everything. We bring the receipts. We are making sure that you are fully informed with what is going on. And I want to say thank you to everybody that supports us with being a member of the channel or giving a super chat. Remember, we donate this live on stream on the 22nd of every single month to a local charity. And this month it's going to be to a local homeless veteran shelter. And I'm so thankful that we get to do that together. Guys, this community is growing. We are growing our giving and we are changing lives. I want to give some love to Surgical Wizard for the super chat, Tijuana Border Jumper, Lay Lewis for gifting 5 True Life News memberships. What's New for the super chat. Thank you so much, Tammy Ash, for the super chat. I love it. Chris Marie, welcome to the family. He's faithful. Thank you so much for the super chat. What's New? Thank you for giving 10 True Life News memberships. If you got a free membership, show them some love in the chat. Thank you so much, Queen Bee, Lisa Anderson, Dash Hound Lover. Guys, show them some love in the chat. We got so much that is going on. Thank you for liking our videos, for sharing our videos. And remember, we are here to serve you. We've got to get the truth out. People have to see the context so that they know what needs to be done with our votes, who we need to get out, and who we need to put in. But we love you all. Appreciate you so much, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care.